welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. I'm having a pretty good day. Happy weekend. Today, we're going to take a look at my latest tournament, the Late Summer Swiss at the Waukesha Chess Club, which to me is a pretty pivotal moment in my chess growth. I'm really excited to announce that with the completion of this tournament, I was able to reach Class B. So I am now, as of Thursday, so 2 days ago, I am now 1612 USCF. So to me, that's pretty amazing. I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I'm pretty excited to see the growth and the improvement with all the hard work that I've been putting in, and that's really helpful and nice to see that when you put in a lot of work, you're able to reach some of your goals. So, which is fantastic. I really put in a lot of hard work this year, and it took me. So I came back in June of 2023. 2022, and now it's September of 2023. So it took me a little over a year to go from, I was at like 1420, 1430, something like that. I dropped down about 100 points to 1344. And then I think that was my lowest last year. And then I've been on the rise since then. So the other cool thing is that I started getting into correspondence chess, which has been really exciting for me. I really like longer time controls in correspondence chess. I seem to really enjoy it. I've won 3 tournaments now in correspondence chess with like a total score. I think I've only missed about a game and a half. So that's 6, 8, 14. So right now I'm sitting at 12 and a half out of 14. So I've been playing extremely well, which is really nice. I just heard some sort of beep. Oh, maybe it's this. Interesting. Okay, that's all online. All looks good. Cool. Yeah, so that's been extremely nice. And yeah, let's get into the games. So I've got 4 games to take a look at. My first game, round 1 of the Late Summer Swiss. I drew Bill Williams in the pairings, and he is 2200, a former master, or still a grand, not a grandmaster, but a chess master nonetheless. And let's take a look and see how this game goes. These 4 games I've now started with my new repertoire. I kind of stepped away from playing the English and playing the Dutch and playing the French. I don't play any of those anymore. I got rid of those. And I decided to dive into more fundamental e4, e5 types of structures. So I'm playing more gambit style chess because I was putting in a ton of time on tactics, and I was not seeing that in my games. Reason being, I was playing really super positional openings, and I wasn't getting the tactics, or I was getting much less tactics to be able to progress. So I started playing some more aggressive things, giving up pawns, playing for initiative, and you can kind of see it in this game. I kind of play pretty hard, and it feels pretty good. So let's take a look. All right, so Bill started with c4. I knew he's an English player, and I responded with e5, knight to c3, knight to f6, and he attacks my pawn, and I decide to go for a black lion type of structure from Simon Williams. And you can play this pretty aggressively if you like. So I'm gonna play this pretty well. So I'm excited. I've been studying the black lion some, and Bill knows his stuff, so he obviously attacks the center and goes for a big center. And I play knight b to d7, hanging on to my pawn. So if we trade here, everything should be fine. If he were to come back here, I'm going to win a knight. So can't do that. So he has to respond, and there we go. We get g3. He's going to fianchetto his bishop on g2 and castle kingside, which is pretty standard. And I'm going to continue with my development, bishop to e7, bishop to g2, castles. So I feel pretty good in the opening so far. We have a few more moves to go, and part of the course that I followed from Simon Williams, the Black Lion course, is that we play for c6 and then queen to c7. Now, I think I probably should have done that first before castling, because then I could have maybe potentially held off castling and played for h6 and g5 really fast, because he's already pushed a pawn, and that gives us kind of a target. But I didn't go for that, and I castled quick and figured king safety was good, and I thought, well, let's just reinforce the center. I can play for d5 and then e4, play for these two squares. And I thought that was a good idea. Bill develops his queen to c2, and I get my rook onto a good square. I'm expecting that the e-file is going to open. If I need to, I can drop my bishop back for more protection of my king side, and I feel pretty good about this. He brought his bishop out, and we traded a few pieces. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So he obviously brought his piece out with the intention of trading off my knight. And I thought, well, I'd really like to make it unbalanced and try to figure out how best to proceed. This is a new opening for me, so it's not something that I'm extremely familiar with, and I don't know a lot of the plans. The only plan that I do know is the h6 g5 plan, but that's not going to work here, because now that plan's already messed up. So I attacked his bishop, and I thought, well, if he takes my pawn, I'm going to take his bishop. And that's exactly what happened. And I thought, well, if he just takes, if we get a, let's do a variation, and we get this type of structure, I don't have to take here, but I could also take here. I wouldn't take there because that would actually, once you pause the video for a second and take a look and see it, tell me why that's maybe not good, and we'll add another variation. All right, if you've paused the video and you want to see, some of you might be able to see really quickly that if we do this, we lose a pawn. I'm not opposed to losing pawns. I'd rather not lose pawns against someone that's as high level as Bill, but sometimes initiative is really good. But that's essentially why I wouldn't want to go that way, and I went this way instead, because now we have this, this, and this on this pawn, so now he can't really take. He can take, but he's kind of almost forced to. I misspoke. He's not forced to take, but I can now take and open things up if I'd like. But otherwise, it's just a normal trade for a trade, which is not too bad. We didn't go for that. The other thing that I thought that he might do is if I take his bishop, if I attack his bishop, he might take my pawn. and then we'll get this interesting structure like this. So, and that's exactly what he did. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to take his bishop, and if he takes my knight, I'm going to take back. I have some options here, but what's nice is depending on what option I take, I might get closer to opening up this rook. So I thought that this was good for me, even if I was giving up this pawn. He took, and we took back with the bishop, and now I'm saving the pawn, and I've got this really crazy, interesting structure in front of my king. I thought this was a good idea. I also considered actually, taking with the knight and then letting him have this, but then I thought that's not good because now he's got checkmating or big attacks. Maybe not checkmating because I have this, but yeah, I've kind of stuck. So I really only have this move. For those of you that can't see it, if I take with the knight, let's do the variation just so everybody can see it. We go here. This is under attack, and this is maybe not so good. So this queen's coming in, the knight's coming in, and I have to be a little bit careful. My knight, as long as my knight stays on f6, I'm okay. But now I'm kind of jammed up, and I don't really have much of a plan. I didn't really like the way this looked for me. And if I ever decide that I want to move my knight, now I have all these kind of mate threats. If I did move my knight, he has checkmate. So we have to be very careful. And I thought that this was a better way to go. Plus, I do like that this is pretty imbalanced. This is a really difficult position to evaluate. I think white is probably still a little bit better here. But I'm about to unwind, and my pieces are going to become very active very quickly, which to me is pretty nice, which I can't complain. So I like this position. All right, so we have, he brings his rook. If you don't know really what to do, knights belong on open files, which makes sense. And he's developing a piece and improving a piece that was not doing anything. It's not really doing anything over here on A1, so get it in the middle, and now he's controlling a whole lot more squares. So that makes a lot of sense. And now I struggle with trying to come up with a plan here. I wasn't really sure how best to continue. I knew I still had to get my bishop active and get some things going, but I didn't seem to be as active as I really wanted to be. I'm happy with my play, but I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive in this game. And looking at the game now, I'm not the sequence behind, back here could have been maybe played a little bit differently. Maybe I should have just taken the pawn. Here's the other option. Here's a variation to take a look at. And, maybe we would get this type of situation. But I don't know. These e4, he didn't play e4, but these e4, e5 structures, or these reverse Sicilian type structures, I am not used to playing against. I'm used to playing them because I am a former English player, but I didn't play with some of the best ideas against the English. I probably should have went for more of a King's Indian defense type of structure, but because I feel like if you play them the right way, they give the English the most amount of pressure and difficulty. And this is kind of like a ready type of structure, or Catalan type of structure. And I'm just unfamiliar with them playing them as black. So this is kind of all new territory for me. So I thought, well, I'm going to develop, my knight to a more active square, and now I've kind of unleashed my bishop out into the mix. I'm attacking that pawn, as you can see, and I've now redefended my d pawn, which before that it was not defended, and this rook could be coming in. So we make a few more improving moves. Now he's really going for this d6 pawn, and I can feel where my structure is kind of not awesome right now, because this d6 pawn is going to cause me a lot of problems. And I start to feel it for the rest of the game. Well, not the rest of the game, but until there's, you know, issues with this d pawn. So I have to alleviate it somehow. But it did become kind of a problem. So I decided to take some pieces off the board and then pin the knight. I thought this was a good idea. You know, he's got these options, and I thought, well, I thought this pin was good. Even if he trades a rook or a knight for a bishop, I can trade back with my queen, and then my queen is going to be fine because I'm protecting my bishop, and I should be okay. And that's exactly what happened. So what I calculated was nice. And now here I think I played a little bit too passively. I just came to protect this pawn, and I can't push it forward because the bishop then comes in and will then fork my rook, so we can't play that. And I thought, well, I thought it might have been better to maybe protect it this way, because now here's why. Because I moved here, and then his next move was here, and if you can see, he's now attacking here and here, and I have no way to really stop him from gaining another pawn. So I think if I would have just played for this would have been a little bit more, this would have been a little bit better. Okay, let's delete that variation and just play here. And if he now moves to a3, yeah, we're okay. I mean, we're not, I guess it's not amazing, but I think I'm still probably in trouble here. Actually, no, because I can protect it. I can, no. Yeah, I don't know that I like this either. Maybe I could play here and then try to play for d5. Really kind of interesting. I think that solves all my problems, but at least for now, I'm going to come up with other problems, but I feel like we're okay. Because then, you know, I have the ability to, this bishop is just so strong. My bishop does have a lot of range, but it's not really attacking anything. It's just controlling some squares. So really kind of interesting. I'm kind of wondering why my chat stuff does not seem to be working. Can we turn this on? And there we go. Okay. Now it seems to be working. I was like, so I was waiting for like my chat bot to be doing something. Hey, there it goes. It's finally actually doing something. I think my chat bot was all messed up, but it seems to be okay now. Okay, great. Probably why I couldn't see anybody, but okay, so yeah, I feel like this probably would have been a better option than what I played. I played this, which to me is really passive. I feel like I could have been a lot more active, and now he plays this move, and I'm gonna lose a pawn, and now I'm just playing completely passively. I'm just trying to protect and keep all my pawns. I'm not really active at all, and I thought, okay, now it's time to break through. I don't really know what to do besides that. other than to continue to play passively. um, Perhaps I had something like this to be a little bit more active, and then maybe here to try to force queen trades, but yeah, I'm kind of unsure. I thought activity was going to be better. So he took, and then I played here. He doubled up, I doubled up, and he offered up a queen trade. And for me, if we take a look at the position the way it is right now, I feel like this is a tough spot for black because white has 7 pawns and black only has 6. I can take that pawn on d5 and we can trade, so we can do something like this. We can leave the queens there for a second, but we can get something like this. And, you know, I can push this here. And if we take a look, this is most certainly losing for black. You know, 5 pawns against 6, same colored bishops. There's no way I think I can win this endgame. This is just not good for black. So taking the pawn is probably not a good idea. So I thought, well, I think I need to keep the queens on the board and allow him to take this pawn, and we'll do some trades and I'll see where we lie. After mass changes with the rooks, I thought, oh, I can just take the pawn, he can take my pawn, and then I'm still down 2 pawns. But I thought, well, you know what? I need to be aggressive. I have mate threats. So I'm going to threaten checkmate. He's going to have to figure out how to stop that. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be active, I'm going to try to threaten as many problems and throw up the most annoying moves possible. Which to me right now, here's some. I just saw it. I didn't see this during the game, but Bill could have forced. Probably this is a win. I think black is losing right here because of this. So here's check. New variation. I have to move up, and he can force a queen trade right away. I can't stop it, so I don't even know what I can do here other than maybe take the pawn. I guess it's not losing, but yeah, I mean, I feel like this is losing. Even I think this is the best play here. Actually, no, wait a second. We have this move, which I did not see. New main line. No, okay, let's delete you. Delete variation. Bishop f5. Okay, now what do we do? Yeah, this gets messy fast. Wow. Okay, so I did not see that coming back. I thought that I maybe almost forcing, and then he gets to queen a pawn, and I wouldn't be able to stop it. But it seems as though I can. That's an interesting line. But he, I threatened checkmate, and he stopped it, offering another queen trade because that's most likely winning for white. So I thought, well, if he does something with my pawn, I'm going to come here and threaten more checkmates, which will be harder to stop because now I have more than one checkmate. And he still goes after my queen. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I can try to force a draw or something here, but I'm gonna continue to threaten checkmates. And he was smart. He blocked it with his bishop. I finally took the pawn, and now he traded. And here I'm threatening 2 checkmates. And I thought, oh, well, I missed this because I was like, well, I'm going to threaten checkmate. I don't think he can keep checking me because I think as long as I can get to the h6 square, I think maybe I'm okay. Or I still always have g6. But I missed this move. I didn't see this move during the game, and I thought, oh no, my game is over. I mean, it was highly likely that I was going to lose to Bill anyways because he's 700, almost 700 points higher than me. But I saw this move. After he played here, I saw f5 and thought, oh, I can get the pawn back, or I can get the bishop back. He's going to get my bishop with this fork. Yep, and he does. And he takes my bishop and I take his bishop. And now he gets this other pawn. And I get his pawn. And now we've got this weird structure with lots of checks. This queen and king endgame. 3 pawns against 5. This is probably lost for black. With really great play. But from back here, I saw, actually when I saw this, I thought for a while. I thought, oh, he's going to put check here. He's going to go here. I'm going to take his pawn. And then I'm pretty sure that he's going to play a8 and try to pick up my a pawn. And if he picks, I feel if he picks up my a pawn after I take his b pawn, I feel I have a draw. And that's exactly what happened. Because now I get all the checks. As long as I stay on the white squares and his queen is on a dark square, I can continuously keep checking his king. And he can't stop it. And that's kind of what happened here. I played queen to e4 and I actually offered a draw because I saw it. And I didn't think he could stop it from happening. So he came back. We shuffled around a little bit. Pushed him forward and I pushed him back again and came here. And he played f3 and I played queen to c2. And there was a checkmate or something here he had to be careful of. I can't remember where it was. I saw something here. There was a checkmate if he tries to move forward, but I don't remember exactly where it was. Yeah. But yeah, here he agreed to a draw at this point, and I was able to pick up the draw. I'm pretty happy with this game. It was probably it was not the best game I played. It's certainly the highest rated person that I've gotten the best result against. But yeah, Bill's a really good player, and this was a tough game. So thanks for watching, everyone. We will take a look at the next game. You can check that out in the next episode. Okay, cool. So we can take a look at the next game. Let's see here. Can close that. All right, let's take a look. Nope, I don't want to save that game. Okay. You guys get to see the results. I got to figure out how to stop that from happening. King h3, queen g5, g4, queen takes f3. Oh, in the last game? Yeah, I'm tired. You're probably... I expect you're right. Now the game with James. This was a well-fought game that I was really excited about because we hadn't played for almost a year to the day. This was a really good game. And there was some psychological battles going on because we knew we were paired together for the whole week and it didn't change. So the last game we played was a Scandinavian. I played e4, and then shortly after that I stopped playing e4. I was like, this isn't working. And I only tried it for a month. And I was like, I'm not playing this. This isn't working. I need to find something different. And then I played the English for almost the whole year. So, round 2 of the late summer Swiss is with James, 1779. I'm sitting at 1555. So I'm excited about this game because he beat me last time, and I have a chance to even the score. So I thought, well, he played a Scandinavian last time. I'm going to play right into that. So I studied all week for a Scandinavian, expecting him to play a Scandinavian. And he expected that I would do this smartly enough, which was amazing. So that was pretty smart on his end to think that I would really attack. I would just attack him. I would go right after his rep. So he was probably smart to prepare not to play that, because it probably would have ran him into a lot of trouble. So he was really clever not to play into that, as I had a number of traps ready. I have forgotten most of them, but there's not a lot of Scandinavian players. And he played 1e6, and all of my prep went out the door. And I was like, wow, dude, you're going to play a French. But I'm okay with that because I was prepped for the French too, and I played the French for almost that whole year as well. So I kind of knew a lot of the lines. And the French that I played was, let's get into the typical French structure, which is just like this. Now, in normal French, the main line is exactly what James played. He played the main line. I deviated here because I did not like these lines with early queen to b6, because the queen, you can kind of get stuck on that side, and then your king side development is really difficult. So what I would typically do in the French that I would play, and now if we look at it from James's point of view, this is a good structure. This is a very common structure. It's been played millions of times. This is one of the 4 pillars of chess openings after one e4. And this structure is very common. So there's many ways to proceed in this structure. And the main line is exactly what James played, which to me, I don't, it's still the main line, but I think it's the old main line. I don't think many people play this anymore. Maybe they do, and I'm just unfamiliar. I don't think the French is played all that much, at least at the top levels. At the club level, I'm sure. But I think a lot of people shy away from it because of this piece right here. Your bishop, they call it the French bishop because it's stuck by all these pawns, and it's got no future. So my ideas in this particular French were to develop the knight here, depending on what white does, and then develop the knight here. And now look at this structure is much different than this structure. So now you lose a tempo, but I think it's an important tempo to lose, just because now your idea is you play on the side of the board where your pawns point. Okay, I'm going to castle that way. I don't care about the king side. Now I've brought another piece over to my attack on the queen side by getting this knight out of the way. It also provides you, if white wants to play on the queen side as well, it gives you an option to castle king side even. So, and now you're one step closer to actually castling. Now I would not castle king side in this particular scenario, because the bishop's going to develop here, and then you have pressure, 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 and the queen coming in. And I mean, look at this. Everything is pointed at the king side. There's no reason why you'd want to castle that way. And the whole idea of this particular structure is after knight ec6, they usually go here. And what you do is you're hoping that they're going to castle, and now you can force a bishop trade, which if you can force the light squared bishops off, you're doing great. So if we get this and this and this, and then we come back, there we go. We have now solved our problem with the light squared bishop. We can develop our queen here and castle queenside. And we're doing fine. Bishop can come here and maybe out here at some point, and now we can push these pawns. So that's the whole idea behind how I like to play the French. James did not play it that way. There's nothing wrong with the main line. It's still played today, even at club level. And I developed my bishop to d3, and he developed his French bishop to e7 or d7. A lot of times this happens right away and then castles, but James didn't play that. We had one more developing move, and then he did that. And I protected my pawn in the middle, even though it's protected by the knight. And this particular line is called the Barry-Milner Gambit, or the Barry-Milner Gambit, or the Milner-Barry Gambit. I always mix it up. It's the Barry-Milner Gambit. Okay, yeah. Nope, it's the Milner-Barry Gambit. Yeah, I had it backwards. I always get it backwards. And I'll probably continue to get it backwards. That's just, I can never remember which order it is. Maybe one day I'll remember. I'm not perfect. So the idea is to let them take the pawns, and now you get this crazy development. And now, look at, I have one more piece, and I'm fully developed, and black is stuck with these two pieces back here. And he played h6. We had a really good post-mortem about this particular move. We had quite a bit of discussion about it, and he was really concerned I was going to bring a piece in here. And I think the whole idea is that I can bring a piece in there, but I'm expecting black to move play queenside, because that's the way their pawns are pointing. And he just didn't want to have to deal with anything with this weak pawn, which makes a lot of sense because it's really weak. It's only protected by the king. But what we discussed is the problem with that move is there's no way to now protect that pawn any further with knight to a6. So one of the ideas in the French to get your knight out is to develop here and then here. And the idea being, if you do move there, new variation, we get this structure, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with this structure. This is actually good in the French because now you've opened up the G file for your rook, and you can castle and then get your other rook over, after you move your bishop out of the way, and now you can get this really quick attack all of a sudden. And I am new to playing the structure from the white side, and James is new to playing the French from the black side. So that was something that he wasn't particularly familiar with, but I'm glad that I was able to share some of that knowledge with him. And hopefully, if he continues to be a French player, he can use some of that to his advantage. But yeah, we thought that this move is almost kind of really limiting, because now you can't do anything. That knight is even obstructed more. You can still probably follow that same type of plan, but and I thought, okay, I don't know exactly what my plan is here, but I want to keep him out of the same type of situation. I don't want him improving here, and then I'm going to be able to play b4 and expand on the queen side, and that's what happened. He was able to get one of his pieces developed, and then he brought his knight in here. And I thought, well, I probably could have just left it and thought, okay, what are you going to do? My pieces are really well placed, and I thought about making this move and giving him a question. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? He has no way to attack the knight again. I mean, I guess he could move here. But yeah, it gets messy pretty quick. And now we might trade. So if he did that, I'm going to trade here, 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 here. And we get this kind of structure. But that's tough. Not sure exactly who this is good for, but it's unclear. And maybe he just takes it. New variation. I thought, okay, here he's in check. Probably would just come back, or actually he'd probably come forward like this. This also gets really messy as well. And now what? Oof. This is crazy. Attack the queen. It's got to move. Come back here. I'm going to win the rook. And now, tough. This is crazy. Really tough. Not sure. Some of these lines get really messy. So I'm not sure. But I traded, and he came in. I think we thought the best move we thought was this. Because when we discussed in post-mortem, I mean, what does black do at this point? Because there's no way to stop anything. So here's an idea. If he takes here, check, check. He's got to move again, I guess. Come back here. We take the rook. And didn't think about that, but if he comes here, he's going to be hit with that. So he can't move that way. I'm going to win the rook. I mean, he's not up a rook because this one's here, but that queen might get trapped. Yeah, this is rough. And then if he comes back, I mean, we can still do the same thing. Yeah, I've got 2 pieces on this. Let's try this again. So if I go here and he comes in, and then here I think we thought check. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, because we thought there was some variation we saw where the bishop comes back and you might be able to hold on, but I don't think it works. We saw something, but maybe our analysis was messed up in the post. I'm not sure. Because yeah, I mean, this is coming. Whoops. This is coming. So, yeah, we think that was probably the winning move, and I missed that. I mean, I saw it, but I couldn't. I saw this move, and I was seeing things here. Whoops. I saw this, and I even saw this, but I didn't see the follow-up after the king moves, which to me, my just calculation wasn't that far. So you have to see 1 and 2, 3. I didn't see this next move. I didn't see the third move, which to me I should have seen it. I should have spent more time on this move. This was, what move was this? Move 13. Yeah. I only spent 7 minutes here. I should have spent 20 minutes here because this would have won the game, I think. Or it would have been very difficult for James to proceed, I think. Not sure. Yeah, I think this is I think knight b5 was the winning move. Because how do you stop that? I don't see, even now that I'm looking at it afterwards with a clear head and not like in the moment of the game, because it's easy to get tunnel vision and stuff like that and not be objective. I mean, how do you handle this? I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what the best move is here for black. You have to move your queen. You're stuck to move your queen, otherwise you lose it. You can't stop knight to d6. Yeah, I mean, this would have been devastating. Yeah, I think that is the only try, but even then, after this, what do you do? Like, you have to come back, right? If you go here, yeah, that just doesn't work. Yeah, it's losing. Knight b5 is just a winning move. This is probably double exclam, and I saw it and I didn't make it because I didn't see. I saw knight d6, but I didn't see knight f7 check. Damn, it's a total bummer. So I think that's game over at this point. That's resignable. Yeah, nothing you can really do. You can't stop it. I don't see a defense. You have to come back, get the rook, and now now you got to deal with your queen, because your queen could. You have to be careful. Your queen could get trapped. I'm gonna get my knight out. What's the best move here for black? Yeah, I mean, I'm getting my knight out, and you've just straight up lost a rook, so Yeah, tough one. Maybe the only try here is this. Go after this bishop. Oh, you can't even do that. Queen to h5 check. I mean, how do you deal with that? I'm getting out. Yeah, this is crushing. Wow. Dang, if I just would have sat and thought about it longer. Okay, so I didn't make that move. I couldn't finish it in my brain. I think I was just too excited. I'm not sure why I missed that, but I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna attack his queen to develop a piece at the same time. He played queen to b6. I think it's the funny thing is I think I still have it here. No, you can just take it now. That doesn't work here because you can just take it. Yeah, I can't take back. Yeah, that doesn't work there. Nope, it doesn't work there. So I improved another piece, put a rook on an open file. Always want to do that. Queen to h5, being aggressive as possible. So now he can't castle. That pawn is hanging, and I'm coming in. And he developed, and I took his pawn. Which to me is just what's the defense here? Because I saw this new variation. I'm gonna go here. Nothing you can do. If he takes, we're gonna take here. This pawn can't do anything. That pawn's under attack. Rooks are coming in. Yeah, you can't take it. You just have to lose the pawn. You have to move your queen, which he did well. He saw it, and I wonder if there's a better move than knight to f4 here. Maybe bishop to g6. I think bishop to g6 would be better than moving the knight. That's probably, I should have just left it there. I think, how do you handle that? Castles? Maybe. I don't think you want a castle though, because let's see. Yeah, maybe that's the defense. I did not see that move, but okay. I played knight to f4. I want to just attack that pawn, that e6 pawn. Castles, I think, is the best move. And rook to c4. I want to get that over to the g file. Bishop to b8. Bishop to e8. Obviously, trying to hang on to any types of mating threats or me coming in to g6 with my knight, or taking on e8, because my bishop is now hanging on d3. There's a threat, so I can't move this. So it's a very good defensive move. I move back, wanting to get my knight to h5. Bishop to g5, protecting my rook now. He can't take it because I can still move back. So now I protected that. Now my knight's free to move. And he was smart to get his king out of the way of any types of pins. And here I just want to maneuver my queen around to e4 and then just go for kind of a caveman type of mate on h7. But yeah, I got his queen out of the way. That was smart because now he can get his other rook in the mix. Brought his queen in. I played h4. Played queen to h5. And I know there's still got to be life in this. Bishop to e2, queen to g6. And I think I could have just played here. I mean, how do you stop that? Queen to g5. No, that doesn't work. I think when we looked at it, there's something here. I just don't remember. And I had external factors kind of making me decide to take a draw. So I kind of let James off here. I was trying to get home to see my son because he was home from college. So I was thinking about that, and I knew that an endgame here would be a grind. So I was like, I'm just going to take a draw. I really didn't want to. I wanted to play this on, but yeah, there's definitely something here. Just don't remember. And then I think, was it here? Or was it here? I think we did this. Yeah, rook to g4, queen to f5. I just don't see it. I feel like there's a way to trap the queen, but I can't find it. I don't know. Maybe you guys can find it. Leave me some comments down below and see if there's a way to get through it. Rook to d2. That's what I need to play. Yeah, probably. Yeah, now what do you do? I mean, if you don't keep your king, if you don't keep your queen back, I'm coming in. Like, I'm going to start sacking pieces. But I think if we, you know, I think there's something else here. I just don't see it. So here, was it this? I think it might have been this. Yeah, there's just, I have too many pieces. Yeah, coordination is just too awesome. Um, yeah, I just don't see a way through. I mean, your defense is pretty good, but there's a way. There's got to be a way. I think probably you're right. Like playing, just a rook d2, probably repeat a little bit, and then play rook d2, and then go from there. Um, don't know. Or somehow trying to. Yeah, instead of that, no. Yeah, it does. Yeah, probably just play it slowly. Go here, and then let you come in, fine, whatever. And then, bring my queen over, bring my bishop to this square. No, that's not what I want. Just this, and then move the pawns or whatever. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think it's just a slow play, but I felt like there was something faster. Maybe not. It's certainly tough. It's tough to play, and I don't know what the evaluation is here. I didn't look at it, but back here when I played this, maybe I didn't even have to play that. Maybe I could have just played rook to d2 right away. Said, okay, let's go. What are you gonna do? And then what's the best move here? I don't even know. Then getting my queen to like h3 and pushing g4. Like, what? How are you gonna stop that from coming in? G4, G5, and then rip open the king side. You're gonna get a tempo or two, but I don't think you can stop the onslaught that's coming. Especially with these guys, like. Yeah. Good game, James. I enjoyed this game a lot. My head wasn't completely in it. I was distracted a little bit, but wish I could have been a little bit more focused. Yeah, it's just you're just stuck kind of moving your queen back and forth while I can just continue to improve. Good game though. It was really good. I've learned a lot from it. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, James definitely kind of I let you off. Um, Wish I would have been a little bit more diligent. Um, my son wasn't even home. That was the thing. He went to go see his brother, so I didn't even get to see him that night. So I could have played. I could have played on. I didn't know that he was leaving to go see his brother and go hang out with him. Otherwise, I would have gave you a bigger fight. But either way, good game. I was happy to get into some of the psychological aspects of chess because you don't get to see them often. And this was a fun game. Lots to be learned. So thank you for such a good game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. let's see. Let's go here, and my next game is an absolute slaughter. No. Okay. So, game 3, I played Seggers. Evan Seggers. He is a local. He's close to be getting master. Right now, he is 2044. So he's come down in a couple of tournaments, but he's most certainly very close to master strength, and he's on the rise again. So it won't be long before he is gained his master title. So I do, being that he's in our training group with me and James and Greg and Ashish, we've all been working really hard, helping each other out, going over each other's games. We got a good group going. I'm really excited for this game, round 3, and I didn't know I was playing Evan until the day of. So I was excited, and I thought, well, I knew he was going to play e4, so I thought, well, now I have to decide, what do I play? Do I play French into him? Because he's not familiar with some of my plans in the French. Do I play e5 and play for some sort of gambit that I'm not super familiar with? Do I play c5 and try to go into a Taimanov, which I've been looking at? Or do I play a Carol, which Evan plays the Carol? So I was like, well, maybe that's not a good idea, because he probably knows it a lot better than me, and he knows the plans against it. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to play the Black Lion. So I played d6. And I knew that he would be prepared for the Black Lion. Greg had played it against him, and Greg beat him. So I thought this was my most valuable try, knowing that I probably couldn't beat Evan. Though I've won some speed chess games against him, I don't have the calculation depth that he has. So I thought this was my best try, because it had been a few months since Greg beat him with this. So I was kind of banking on the idea that maybe it wasn't super fresh in his mind, and being it was more fresh in mine, that I might have some chances. So I thought this was my best try. He played actively, and he played the most aggressive move, which was f4. And I had seen this move. I knew of this move, but I did not know the plans for this move. So at this point, I only knew that playing e5 was still okay, but I didn't know how to proceed after that. So after move 4, I'm now out of my depth, which is okay. So I think at this point right here, I should have changed my whole plan, and instead of trying to think about what the course told me to do, I should have just started playing chess. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I just kept on with what the course told me to do, even though I didn't study any of these lines in the course. The lines I studied in the course are, from this point, totally different. That pawn makes a huge difference. So he played f4, and I knew that this was still okay. And I thought, okay, well, all right. But now I have all these things that I have to worry about. And I played c6, continuing on with my stuff in the course. And he castled. I put my queen on c7. The idea, it is helping support my e5 pawn. So I've got this here, and this here. I've got all this good defensive stuff here. He played a4, which is the most aggressive move. Makes sense. You're gaining space on the queen side. And I played h6. I probably shouldn't have played maybe I should have. Maybe that was fine. Maybe I should have just taken on d5 or d4 and just played that way. Maybe I should have played d5. Unfortunately, I don't know any of the plans here, and I'm out of my element, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Looking at the position the way it is right now, I probably should have just castled. And then just tried to play normal chess. But I'm still in a little bit of prep, or what I thought was prep, but it's not, because obviously I don't have this prep yet. And I thought, okay, well, I want to play g5, but I can't because f4 has been played. So let's just play castles. And he played queen to e2. And to me, I'm like, that move is dumb. Why are you making that move? It doesn't make any sense. Why don't you develop your bishop? Little did I know is this particular move makes a huge difference by supporting the bishop. And I played a really bad move by playing rook to e8. If you're watching this as a video afterwards, pause the video, try to figure out why this move is bad. You're going to see the next moves. In the next 5 moves, the game's over. Just so you know. And you're looking at this like, what? Are you kidding me? Yes. In the next 5 moves, the game is over. This is a very quick video. Very, very important, valuable lesson to learn in e4, e5 structures. That I did not know, or I knew it, but I'd forgotten. But I didn't have to waste a lot of time. I learned a very valuable lesson, and this is not going to happen again. But, so, from here, he decided to take, and I took as well, and he played knight to h4. And some of you might see this and be like, oh, I know exactly what the plan is. I did not. I was like, that move was completely confusing to me. It made no sense whatsoever. I thought, oh, you're just going to give me that pawn? And I'm like, I'm looking at all kinds of things right here. I'm like, oh, I can take the pawn. He might push. He might. So here's the move that this is the move I made. And I thought, oh, well, I did not even consider this as a move, but I considered this, I considered this, I considered this, I considered this, and I considered this. I saw all kinds of moves here, but I did not see the most important move, which I kind of gave away the answer here. But I thought, oh, I'm okay, whatever. And he takes here, and I was like, oh, that's a free bishop. Thanks a lot. But what I didn't see is the next 2 moves. And some of you guys have probably already calculated out the sequence. But I did not. I was like, oh, I'm just going to take here. And this is the move I did not see. Queen to c4. And I'm stuck. I can't block it. I have to move back to f8. And knight to g6 is checkmate. I just got completely smashed by not understanding this move right here. I was like, what? This makes no sense whatsoever. And it's all because I made this move right here. That's a blunder. Now, maybe it's not quite a blunder, but maybe after this move, I should have just played knight to f8. And maybe this is holding. I think maybe this is holding, because if he doesn't take right now, I can then play this and kind of lock things up. If there's sacrifices, I think I'm safe here. I think that kind of saves everything. Taking the pawn is a blunder, but I think knight f8 might have saved it, and we would have continued to have a game. But yeah, I completely missed the idea. I learned a valuable lesson in this game, so kudos to Evan. He even apologized that it was kind of a little bit of hope chess, because he knew that unless I saw the idea, if I did see the idea that knight to h4 is kind of pointless. So I think, actually, to be honest with you, I believe there's another move here as well. I don't think it's as good though. What about G takes, or G5? I feel like that works too. This might also be stopping, but then I allow the knight coming into h4, or sorry, f5, because now I don't think this works. Because now I can escape. Now what? I'm okay. This is fine, I think. Just go here and oh, maybe we can't go there. So maybe we have to come back here. It's not as good. I think knight g8. I think knight f8 is probably best. So, but I learned a valuable lesson. I have to worry about these sacrifices on f7. I'm just not familiar with them. That's why I started playing e4, e5 structures, because I need to learn them. And though it's going to hurt my chess in the short term, I think in the very long term it's going to help me out tremendously. So Evan taught me a very valuable lesson, and I wouldn't have wanted to learn it from anybody other than him, which is great because he's a great training partner, and chances are, percentage-wise, he's going to win this game anyways. So I'd rather learn a valuable lesson through somebody that I respect as a mentor. So thanks, Evan. This was a very great game. I appreciated learning this very horrific and devastating lesson, but I haven't played e4, e5 structures for 20 plus years, and I didn't really know them back when I played them. So valuable lessons have been learned on this day. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, let's take a look at the final game. Thank you to everybody that's here and watching. I hope you're enjoying the live stream. I'm enjoying it. I like going over these games. These games have gotten me very far. All right. All right. Round 4. I am white against Alex Tara. He is a very, very good player. I've played him once before, and I played him, he was white. But, so I played black and I played a French back then, and I had a good game against him, and he fell for a tactic. Unfortunately, so I was able to win that game. Now this game, I'm white, and now I can play e4 against him. And one thing I can say, this is round 4. I'm now 1 point out of 3. I had 2 draws and a loss against 3 players. So at this point right now in the tournament, I looked up the points just because I was curious, because I knew I was approaching and getting close to Class B, and I thought, man, what do I have to do in this game to win? Now, I was prepared for a different player and playing black. I was prepared for another person in the club playing black, so I was ready to play a Nimzo Indian or a Queen's Indian defense, and now I'm playing white. I wasn't ready or prepared to play white. I didn't want to play white. I want to start playing more black. So now I'm like, okay, I now have to play e4, and I'm still not, I don't know what he plays. The only information I had prior to the game, which was maybe an hour or two before, is that when he does play, he doesn't seem to really attack or control the center. Um, he plays non-combative chess at the beginning. I thought, oh, okay, that's fine for me. If he doesn't play e5 or c5, I can play e4, d4, and we'll go from there. And that's exactly kind of what happened. So let's get into it. He played d6, and I thought to myself, wait, what? I'm not, since I started working on E4 Grandmaster Gambits by Simon Williams, this was not in the course. This is not a common response. So I'm prepared for E5. I'm prepared for C5. I'm prepared for C6 and E6, the four pillars of chess. So I'm prepared for, these symmetrical structures. I'm prepared for Sicilian structures. I'm prepared for French structures. And I am prepared for Caro-Kann structures. I am not, however, prepared for this type of structure. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, so now we might get an E5 structure. We might get a C5 structure. So I'm unsure. But since he doesn't want to commit to the center, I felt like, okay, I'm going to just hold on to it. I'm going to play E4, D4. This is principled chess. I am taking control of the center. Okay. He played knight to F6, and I played knight to C3. I'm developing a knight, hanging on to my E4 pawn. I thought, okay. And he played C6. So he is most certainly not committal. And now I'm like, well, now I can just start developing pieces because I'm gonna rely on quick development, and I'm gonna try my best to overwhelm him with development. And I played bishop to c4, and he played queen to a5, and it blew my mind. I'm like, wait, what? Why are you playing queen to a5? This move does nothing. I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Why are you playing this move? This doesn't make any sense. Is he hoping for some type of mistake or to be able to fork pieces or something? I'm really quite confused by this move, and unfortunately, I did not get a chance to play or have a postmortem with him. We had a few words after the game, but it was still early in the night. It was only about 9 o'clock or so, so there's still a number of games going, and he's a pretty loud whisperer. So I didn't want to really have a postmortem with him because I didn't really want to disrupt a lot of other players. But we didn't get really a chance to go over the game like I wanted, which is okay. I really wanted to ask him about this move because to me it made no sense whatsoever. And I'm like, oh, that's just a wasted move. So, okay, I'm going to play bishop to d2. I'm going to develop, and now I have discoveries. Okay. He moved back to queen to c7. And I thought, oh, wow, so now I'm completely developed. And he has 3 pieces that have not been developed at all. I'm like, wow, look, I have such an initiative. Now I need to start thinking about getting castled and going on the attack because what are you doing, man? You're kind of just hanging out, not doing anything. He played bishop to g4. Okay, this pin's kind of not awesome. Okay. Avenging CYV. Hey, how's it going, man? I want to offer a promotion to your channel. Viewers, followers, views, chat bots. The price is low. All right, man. You can head out. That's okay. We don't need any of that type of promotion. No, we're good, man. Thanks. Much appreciated. Yeah, we don't need any of that kind of stuff. So, all right, we are just going to ban you. Peace out, homie. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, maybe just kind of hang out and be here and like watch the stream, like, and maybe offer I don't need your promotion. Thanks, though, dude. And I'm not spending any money for you to give me more views. I don't need a chatbot. I don't need unauthentic or not organic growth. That's just ridiculous. So at this point, actually, hang on one second. I'm going to get a drink. But okay, I want to grab this book. I have been reading a book called The Art of Checkmate. Okay. By Georges Renaud and Victor Kahn. Now, this is the 21st century edition. I think it's like 15-20 bucks on Amazon. It's really cheap. And the first chapter is on Legal's sacrifice. I am doing everything in my power to try to make Legal's sacrifice work. For those of you that don't know, it is with bringing your knight to e5 and then bringing your bishop in to stop or to checkmate and allowing your queen. So this is kind of the idea. Oh no, my queen. Boom and boom. Now, it doesn't work here because the king has an escape square, unfortunately. So I'm sitting here trying to think, what can I do? I'm looking, at this point in the game, I'm looking for Legal's sacrifice many times. I'm continuing to look for it. Instead, I castle because I can't see it. What I didn't see is the game a week prior. Why couldn't I just start with this? My own bishop takes f7 sacrifice. And now what? What are we going to do? Does it work here? Maybe not. I don't think it does because the knight is protecting the bishop. But I never even considered it. It didn't even cross my mind. But that's the problem. It should be crossing my mind. But I'm unfamiliar with these structures, so this is new territory for me that I need to learn and find out what these tactics are and these mating patterns because I'm not seeing it. Some of you guys, this stuff might jump out at you right away, but for me, it's not because I haven't played these structures in 20 years. But I'm happy to be back at them. Okay, so he played knight to e4, and now the bells should be screaming because the alarm bells should be screaming at me to say, now you need to play rook or bishop takes f7. You must. You got to be able to see this. Because here, and now look at that. I mean, this is absolutely crushing. What are you going to do? If he takes here, we take here, and his king is just like stuck. But we go here. If we take there, check. Yeah, there's so much stuff here. Yeah, this just looks really tough to deal with. All this is, I believe, good for white. And I didn't see any of it. I played rook to e1 instead. Getting the idea of, since he's got an uncastled king, so I've got different ideas. I am being what I think to be as aggressive as possible. Instead of trying to sacrifice, I was like, well, let's load another piece up on the king because he's uncastled, so I might have some other sacrificing ideas. When in all reality, this bishop is really causing some problems. I wish, I probably should have played an earlier h3 to keep the bishop out. So if we move back and he's, fumbling around, maybe I should have played h3 here. Or what are you doing? How are you going to proceed? Where are you going to move that bishop? You don't really have any good squares. Are you going to move it here? That's weird. Are you going to move it here? That's weird because now you can't really develop your knight. If you develop your knight, I can take that and mess up your queen side. this is, now I can develop. And, you know, if he moves here, now he's blocked his knight or his bishop in. And he's got to think about stuff like that. It's just, it's like a nice prophylactic move by waiting and delaying a little bit of my development by playing h3. And, you know, how's he going to deal with that? Now he's going to play e5 maybe? Okay. Yeah, it's just, I'm forcing him to make a decision. But we didn't do that, and I load back up on the knight. Unfortunately, it gives him an opportunity to come back here, and now I play bishop f7. I saw it a bit late. It still kind of works. Not amazingly, because now instead I have to calculate myself to get the knight back by these types of moves. So now I'm threatening checkmate in one. He's got to deal with that. And I'm threatening checkmate in one again. He plays e5, and now I get the knight back. So there was some stuff here that was pretty good. And he played h6. This is an interesting position. So right now I think I'm winning. And I think all I had to do was bring my knight back to f3 and ask him the question, what are you doing? And I considered it. That's the problem. I considered this move thinking, well, I'm just going to take your pawn, and we're going to go from there. He can't push it forward. If he pushes it forward, I'm just going to take it, and we're going to go from there. And what do you do? How do you deal with this? And I didn't. I played this instead stupidly. And I don't know. I guess I thought, like, I don't know. I think I just had a moment, a lapse in judgment. I think I wanted, you know, more control of this square. You know, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I just had a brain fart, I guess. I didn't spend a lot of time on this move. This was move 14. 3 minutes. And I even marked it wrong. I didn't even mark it right in my notation. I just completely messed up. Yeah, I believe knight f3 is just straight up winning, and call it a day. Unfortunately, I didn't play that, and he gets all this counterplay, and I thought, okay, I guess maybe I should have just went back to g6, or sorry, g3, instead of allowing the trades. That was another mistake I made. So, like, I'm just having like this lapse in judgment and like not making objective moves and not making. I'm just kind of playing. I guess I'm kind of just playing hope chess here, and I let him take, and I saw this stuff, and I'm like, oh man, now he's got this crazy center, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop it. And I'm like randomly making moves. I'm not really coming up with a plan, and that's never good. If you're not making a plan, it's just this isn't smart. So at this point, I like took a small evaluation of the position, and I'm like, man, this totally sucks. Like I'm totally bummed out. And what I was trying to get to work was this, which I thought worked, but it did. I calculated it didn't. Here and here, and I was like, oh, I get check and I can win the rook. But it doesn't work because he can just block it right there, unfortunately. So I was bummed out that didn't work, and I really wanted it to work. So I was like, well, I'll just improve a piece. Maybe he'll make a mistake and I'll get a chance. And I'm like, at this point, I'm hoping for him to make a mistake. I'm not trying to find the best moves. I'm just kind of playing moves, whatever. And now I'm like, wow, okay. Now I'm like, how do I hang onto that pawn? I don't know how to hang onto that pawn. I can't move my queen to e3 because he's just going to play d4. And at this point, I've already resigned to the fact that I'm upset. I was like, wow, I just totally threw this game in a matter of a couple of moves when I had huge chances to win, and just kind of was playing really just not my best chess. I'm frustrated at this point. Mentally, I'm like defeated. And I came up with this move, knight to e4. And I thought, oh, maybe that's okay. If he takes, I can take his, knight. I'm just seeing what I can do, thinking that, oh, he's just gonna take it, and then I'll go here, and go here, and now I'm gonna pick this next pawn up. Like, I'm just thinking that he's gonna make the moves that I'm thinking about, and not thinking what's his best move. I'm not thinking about any of his moves at this point in the game. I'm just trying to defeat him with him making the moves that I think he's going to make, and I'm not really being objective about it at all. And he plays b6, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just go back because it doesn't work. Well, now I've just given up a pawn. And now he's got this like just crazy pawn center, and I'm like, what the heck? And I made the move anyways. I was like, well, now it's different because now I think I can win that rook. And I can't because I totally spaced when I made this sacrifice. I thought getting the 3 pawns was going to be sufficient. But I didn't see this next move. I did see this move after this, and I thought, well, this was my best try. But for some reason in my brain, I thought I'd always be able to take this rook, and I never had a chance to take the rook because it's now protected by the other one. So now I'm like, at this point in the game, I'm now like kicking myself because my plan didn't work, and now I'm down a piece, and now I'm only up 1 pawn for the piece when I was supposed to be up 3. And now I'm irritated and I'm frustrated with my own play. I was playing a bunch of hope chess and none of it worked, and I'm just like lazy. I'm just playing lazy chess is what's happening. So I saw that if I don't do something to keep this rook, I'm never going to be able to move my queen, and I had to come back and protect it. And I thought my only try is to just allow him to take b2, because I thought about playing b4 right here, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to let him take b2, and I'm going to get him off that file, so now I can try to get some sort of perpetual check and get a draw. I think that's the best that I can hope for at this point. And he took it, and I thought, okay, well, I'm taking the draw, and I took it. So we agreed to a draw after this. So the 3-fold repetition. I mean, it wasn't really agreed upon. He was upset. He didn't really want to do this because if he doesn't move, forward, I can just take his rook. So he didn't see the draw, but yeah, rough game. I was completely defeated this game. I was in a mental funk for sure. Don't know why. I've been playing really solid and really aggressive, attacking, fighting chess for weeks. I lost to Evan, which was to be expected, but my loss before that wasn't for like 7 or 8 weeks. It was like 6 weeks. So yeah, my last loss was on 7/26, and when did I lose to Evan? I lost to Evan more than a month, so 6 weeks. So I've been playing really solid and good chess, even online. I have my longest winning streak on Lead Chess right now. despite being busy in my personal life. So yeah, this was rough. I finished with 1.5 out of 4, and it gained me about 20 points or something like that. So it put me at 1612. So I've now successfully reached Class B. So with the wrap up of this particular video and live stream, if you're watching this live right now, this would be the end of the series. We've reached Class B, and now I'm going to start a new series called Road to Class A, and we're going to start working on those games. So if I'm looking at the games that let me look at Twitch. I closed out of it. Shoot. Hang on one second. Let me see. So, video producer. So there's 4 games here. I still have to post the other ones. And game 37. So, to get to Class B from where I was when I came back, it took me 41 games. 41 games over the period of a year. Roughly a year. I think. I don't know which game I posted first, but we'll have to do maybe a recap of all 40 games, or we'll kind of talk. Maybe I'll do a clips or something like that. I'm not sure, but this is, I'm going to do a video about it because I want to talk in greater length about it, which I think will be really good. What I want to talk about in the video, though, is about perseverance and playing consistently, maybe not with your results, but playing on a routine. You know, I play weekly, I'm doing studies at home, and that consistency can really help you grow if you are actually really trying to understand your mistakes, learn from them, work to not make those mistakes again. And I believe any adult improver, or even kids, any improver, anybody playing chess can spend the time that they're working at home, even if it's 30 minutes a day, every day. If you're putting in that 30 minutes and it's a quality 30 minutes, you can reach whatever goals you want to reach. So in less than a year, you know, actually, so, all right, it is September 9th today. Let's go back to September 9th in my book. So I was actually on my downswing in September last year. I was at 1446 September 7th, and I actually dropped down to 1344 within the next month. So I was on a downturn this time last year. Yeah. So in November of, so 2 months, so almost a year, November 16th, 2022, I was 1344. So from September to November, I lost about 100 points. And I was at my lowest rating that I'd been in many years. And I committed to, so it's almost been a year, so even 8 months of just solid, straight improvement. Well, I mean, it's been longer than that, but I had some really good tournaments. I've had a lot of lessons. We'll talk about it more in an upcoming video or something like that, but it just goes to show if you're putting in at least 30 minutes to 2 or 3 hours a day, you can improve. And I've proven it over the last 41 games. So you can do it too. Everybody can. It requires deliberate effort to do so. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I look forward to Road to Class A and starting at 1612 and trying to keep moving up and try to reach more higher goals. Uh, I'll discuss more things um, in the video that we talk about reaching Road to Class B, or finishing Road to Class B. About what I've learned over the last year, what I think is important, tips and tricks, um, things like that, to try to discuss what anybody at home can do to kind of reach the same goals. And one of the things that I want to talk about now, since we're still live, I'm almost at 2 hours, but one of the things I think that made a real huge impact was really not being changing my focus from being ratings, having a ratings goal orientated, to being more process and production minded. So my goals changed from I'm going to be 1600, 1700, 1800 by this time. It changed from that to here's my training plan. This is what I'm going to work on these days. I'm going to work on tactics. I'm going to work on my openings. I'm going to work on endgame calculation. And I'm going to learn from all my mistakes in my games. And that has had a huge impact on my attitude towards chess, because now I don't really care what my rating is. Am I happy that I reached 1600? Absolutely. Am I happy that I reached that goal? Yeah, totally. I mean, why wouldn't you be? But not caring about it, and being more focused on the process and the production aspect. Did I do my tactics today? Yes. Did I do my end game calculation? Did I learn from my mistakes in my last games? If I can answer yes to those, then I feel like I'm doing a good job, because now that means I put in my 30 minutes to 2 hours or 4 hours a day, whatever time you have, you did that. And that's more than what most people are doing. And I can tell you that if you're doing that, it's way better than playing 2 hours of Blitz at a night. Yeah, so Andrew, welcome. Yeah, I finished up my analysis of all my games. So I'm just talking about completing my Road to Class B journey and some of the things I've learned. I'm going to make a video about it, so it'll be a separate video where I'm going to have a little bit more of a script. Right now I'm just kind of off the cuff. None of this is going to be posted except in the uncut version if anybody wants to watch that back. I know there's a few people that subscribe to that channel, but that is something I guess I should put on there, my uncut channel. I got to put that in my notes to do. Yeah, what I was talking about is the biggest factor in my attitude towards chess and my chess improvement was, what I was saying was, what changed in my attitude and mindset towards chess was going from not really caring about, not having ratings based goals, and changing over to process and production based goals. And I feel like that was a huge change. Turning off all those, the ratings in Lead Chess was huge. Really, seriously, like, what a big difference it's made. Just because, like, here, I'll just show you. I mean, why not? Let's see where we're at. So, okay. We'll load up chess.com as well. Why not? So let's take a look. We'll do you guys get a sneak peek of what one of my videos might be soon. So, let me change this to full screen. Okay, first off, let's take a look at my profile, chess.com. All right, we're going to load up everything. Why not? We'll do player search, and we're going to search me up. We're going to do all the things. So we'll do chess.com, Lead Chess, and then we'll look at my stuff next. So Actually, that's not what I wanted. I want to go to my stats. There we go. Stats. All right. So we're going to use Rapid because that's probably what I play the most online. And let's see. So 1 year. 1 year ago, I was 1405. And I am 1805. 400 points. 400-point gain in 1 year. That's outstanding. And to be fair, this is 7/18 of 2023. I stopped playing 2 months ago on chess.com because I can't turn the ratings off. And I don't have a diamond membership there anymore. I don't really believe in what chess.com is doing, so I decided to leave that as a website. I do still play there on occasion. I still have a number of games that I'm playing when it comes to daily games. But once those are gone, I may or may not play here anymore. Maybe. We'll see. But that's crazy growth right there. All right. So this one's going to be a little bit different because my profile has changed because I got rid of my other account. For those of you that don't know, go to preferences and you can turn off your player rate, show player ratings. You can say no. This is huge. This has been the biggest, probably the biggest improvement for me was just now I don't care who I'm playing. It's not going to affect me. I'm just going to play. Oh, I won my game. Woohoo! Look at that sweet end game. Yeah. So that puts me at 1842 for my correspondence, but that's still not good. 2220 rapid. Now this is over 35 games. If we go back to May 30th, I was 1762 when I opened this account. Now, my other account, Clobberstomp, was, I think I was in the 1600s or so when I started. But I wasn't doing, I was on that account, but I couldn't change my name anymore because I changed it from my name to Clobberstomp because I was trying to change my gaming channel over to a chess channel. And I thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start fresh. So I couldn't change back. So I deleted that account and I started a new account. So I have gone from, since I started this account, which was in May, 1762 to 2220. Almost a 500 point gain. That's massive for anybody playing Rapid. And you can see my other games are there. 1605 Blitz. I don't play a lot of Blitz, as you can see. Classical. Correspondence 1941. I only have a few games yet, but this is all going up. Puzzles 2217. I don't really go by puzzle ratings. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Those to me are not something that I measure because I simply just don't care. All right, so just to be fair, I'm going to turn that back off because I don't care. And now let's look me up here. Wisconsin, submit. Okay, so published rating is 1593. Let's go to tournament history, and we are 1612. It hasn't posted yet. It will post 10-1. If we go back, my current floor is there. Actually, it doesn't say it. Usually when it gets close, so this is based on September of 2023. But come October 2023, it will be 1612. So if we scroll down to this time last year, 9-7, like I said, I was 1370 and I was on my way down to 1344. And I came back in June, late June. I went from 1446 down to 1344 in a couple of months, which is where I hit my lowest. And I went from 1344 on 10-5. So in 1 month, so almost 1 year today, I went from 1344 to 1612, almost 300 point gain. So I'm going to play another tournament between now and there. And if I gain 30 points, I've gained 300 points in 1 year. That's sick. and I don't think I do think and do feel like I am higher rated than that. I think most people in general think that. But I don't think most people are that. I think most people think that. And that's no dig on anybody. I just know how much work I'm putting in. And I mean, if we look at my last games, you know, I didn't do well. In my opinion, I didn't do very well this tournament. But I got to draw against a master. I got to draw against a. Did I miss it? I missed it. I got to draw against a master. I got to draw against a class B, class A player, 1779, almost 1800. So he's close to class A. And, then I got to draw against a 1500, somebody class C. I did get a loss against an expert, but I'm playing well. And, if I go back to my last tournament before that and we take a look at this one, so I gained 40 points this tournament. Let's take a look. I had 3 points out of 4. I had 3 wins and a loss, and I only lost to Robin. That was a bad game. But I won against my Gunlack, 1100 or so. And then I won against 2 people I'd never beaten before. I won against Eli, 1600, solid class B player. And then I won against Demastery, who actually has been a class A player. I believe his floor is 1600, so he's actually been up to 1800 and above. So he's been playing okay. I think if you ask him, he would say that he's not playing very well. And he is not shy of telling you that he has not been playing well. And I think he's right. I think he can play a lot better. So I've been playing well. So it does go to show that if you put in the work, anyone can improve. I've proven it. So I will do a video about this, talk more about it, and talk about the highs and lows of doing my road to class B. I'll probably write a blog about it, and do that sort of thing. But chess totally gifts people that work. But if you don't put in the work, you shouldn't expect to just be there all of a sudden. You do have to put in a lot of work. And, if I look at the state rankings, I'm in the top 150, and that's not even accurate anymore. So let's take a look at that. So if we look at where 1612 is, I'm in the top 140. So that's awesome. I feel really good about that. So yeah, right now I'm 147th, 4th category. But yeah, it's been awesome. Hang on one second. I gotta let my dogs out. So yeah, it's been an amazing run. I've been pretty happy. I've had ups and downs just like anybody else. It has not been just clear, smooth sailing. I've definitely had struggles. The people in my group that I work with, for chess improvement, like James and Evan and Ashish and Greg, Yeah, I'm, constantly talking to them. We're always looking at games together, and I've certainly, vented to them about, my improvement, what I'm doing wrong, why can't I improve, and the Frenchman, yeah, James, um, and they're quick to talk me off the ledge, so that's it's really good to have support like that. I think it's really important to do I have it here? Follow. I do. I do think it's important to follow the Botvinnik school of thinking. Um, and what that means is, for those of you that don't know, is Kasparov, Karpov. These are they're from the Botvinnik school of Russian chess improvement, and it talks about how one of the key components is to have um, people that are around or above your level to submit your games and your analysis and have them critique it. I believe it's really important to have that community to bounce your ideas off of and get instant feedback. So I can submit a game in our study and I can get feedback from any of the people, and they can tell me what they see, what they think I did wrong, what they think I did well, and you can learn from that. And I think that's absolutely one of the pillars of improvement is having a friend group or a chess group that is helping you improve. You need it. You definitely need it because without that feedback, it's really easy to make excuses and think, oh, I lost this because I was tired. I lost this because there's a kid across the room tapping his foot. I was distracted. There's a lot of things you could say and not be objective about it. But having that group that holds you accountable to how you're playing and being like, no, you just played like crap, dude. Yeah, you didn't play well. You didn't play how well you can, and point it out and make you own up to what you're doing, um, so you can actually learn from those lessons. Um, and everybody's got that nervous tap or nervous energy. Some people tap and move their stuff, and that's okay. But you have to get past all that kind of stuff. But it's really easy to be like, oh, I was tired, I had a headache, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, blah 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 blah. But the question I will leave all of you with is that going to help you improve? Will that help your chess? Just saying I'm tired? Why were you tired? Why did you not get enough sleep last night? Why did you let that kid across the room snapping gum or doing whatever he's doing, tapping his foot, bother you? Maybe you need to work on concentration. Maybe you need to work on focus. Maybe you need to work on not worrying about what everything's else. Maybe you need to start practicing with a bunch of distractions. Sometimes, yeah, exactly. Sometimes your tournament conditions are going to suck. They're going to be horrible. People are going to be loud. Kids are going to be knocking on the table. They're going to come up to the game and bump the pieces around. Things are going to fall down. There's nothing, that stuff you can't control, but what you can control is how you're learning. Learn while you are distracted. Play while you're distracted. You can get past some of these things. Buy yourself a set of earplugs. There's a lot of things you can do. What I'm trying to explain is do not fall for excuses. Do not get into that habit because it's really easy to be like, oh, it doesn't work well. I don't do this well, blah, blah, blah. Instead of being like, no, I suck at tactics. Go work on tactics. I suck at end games. Go work on end games. Always work on your floor. If you're working on your floor, you will improve. Period. you know? So, all right, guys. I've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been awesome. I will post the uncut version up. I have 24 hours that I have to wait before it can be released, so it probably won't be released till Monday. Maybe, yeah, because tomorrow's Sunday. So it won't be released till Monday, but the uncut version will be up. And then I'm going to chop it all up. I still have videos to post from the last stream. And so there's like 6 or 7 videos coming still that I have to post. So there's going to be a ton of content coming. A ton of long form content. I've got 20 drafts in my TikToks. So there's going to be tons of shorts coming, tons of short content coming, tons of content coming. I've loaded up and we're going to get lots of stuff done. So I hope you all enjoy and you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Peace, everybody.